Uh, as some of you may remember, this spring we planted about 270 uh, asparagus roots this spring, and for years I was sort of scared to start asparagus because everything I read said the soil had to be prepped a couple years in advance, a lot of organic matter worked in, and the weeds gotten under control. And then when you planted them, you had to plant them in this deep trench and then slowly backfill the dirt. And um, I guess I got a little intimidated by that until um, one of the local guys around here that raises a lot of asparagus told me not to worry about all that, plant it, try and stay ahead of the weeds, and the asparagus will do the rest. So we followed his advice, and as you can see, it worked out fine. Um, we planted them about a foot apart in the rows, and I'd say the rows probably oh 6 feet apart, maybe 5-6 feet apart. And you can see we've kept the weeds under control. And you can see here there's, this is one root, and here there's 5 spears on there. There's this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spears, big heavy spears, one out here, and they'll keep spreading out over the years. And you can see here it's all this fern-like material on top, and you got to let it seed out, and then this will die back in the winter, and then in the spring we'll use a rake or something, and we'll knock all this off back down to the ground, and then it'll start growing again next year. And next year will be the second year, and we won't be able to harvest next year. We'll have to continue to monitor the weeds. And we didn't really water these this year, even though it was a very dry year. They did fine. I think part of that is the asparagus, do get planted fairly deep, and we have more of a clay soil here, which tends to retain the moisture pretty well. But next year they'll continue to grow and establish those roots, and then by the third spring again, we'll knock off the tops down to the ground, and we can start harvesting to a limited degree in the third year. And as you can see, we're going to have more than enough asparagus for our family. We'll probably trade, sell, and or give away some of the asparagus. But this was a patch, 3 rows, about 90 to 100 feet long, which is probably bigger than most people's gardens. But this is going to be a designated asparagus patch for years to come. So we'll see how it winters, but I think it's going to do just fine.